and illicit drugs decimated American communities and left us with the largest law enforcement challenge in our country's history, and hopefully will always be the largest. I can't imagine anything being worse. They allowed
federal agents have executed a massive coordinated strike across Minneapolis, dismantling what investigators describe as one of the most sophisticated fentanyl operations ever uncovered in the upper Midwest. The FBI, DEA, and Homeland Security pulled over 1 million deadly doses off the streets, enough poison to eliminate every person in the Twin Cities metro area, with thousands of lethal doses remaining. These aren't street dealers. These are organized networks operating with military precision, hiding behind community trust and family connections. The seized narcotics came in many forms.
Cartels are all suppressing methamphetamine tablets, and these look exactly like an Adderall pill.
Counterfeit Adderall tablets pressed by Mexican cartels, crystallized methamphetamine fentanyl powder measured in kilograms, fake prescription pills indistinguishable from legitimate medication. Federal authorities warned that the volume of fentanyl confiscated could have annihilated Minneapolis's entire population several times over. This operation represents a critical strike against the Sinaloa Cartel's distribution infrastructure, with 171 high-level arrests, not low-level street dealers, but operational commanders and logistics coordinators. The DEA's message is unambiguous. The Sinaloa Cartel represents one of humanity's gravest threats, and law enforcement will pursue them relentlessly across every border and into every community they've infiltrated. But here's what makes this case truly disturbing. These weren't strangers. These were neighbors, community leaders, people who brought their children to school events and donated to local charities. They built multi-million-dollar fentanyl empires while living ordinary lives right next door to families who believed they were safe. It's 7:42 on a winter morning in South Minneapolis. Frost blankets the rooftops. The streets are peaceful, almost serene. The kind of neighborhood where danger feels impossible. For years, residents knew Abdul Rahman Nur Ali as a 44-year-old community organizer and respected businessman. He spoke at local meetings, supported charitable causes, and lived in an $820,000 brick home that symbolized achievement and integration. Behind that facade of respectability, federal investigators eventually traced $6.3 million in unexplained cash flow across just 22 months. Money laundered through cultural organizations, import businesses, and private channels that never appeared in any tax documentation. The neighborhood believed it was safe. They believed they knew the man next door. But inside that quiet house, the truth had been concealing itself all along. If you believe danger can hide behind normal appearances, leave a comment. Stay vigilant. The case broke wide open because of a single routine traffic stop. Street, police pulled over Muhammad Farhan Isa, a 32-year-old relative of Abdul Rahman known locally as a delivery driver. The officer initially noticed only a broken taillight. Inside the trunk, 2 sealed black packages, a digital scale, and $47,600 in rubber-banded cash. Field testing confirmed fentanyl enough to produce over 180,000 lethal doses. That moment transformed everything. The report went federal immediately. Within 48 hours, a joint task force assembled: FBI, Minneapolis, DEA, Homeland Security, Investigations, Customs, and Border Protection. They didn't rush. They moved with surgical precision. Quiet surveillance began. Phone records were subpoenaed. Late-night vehicle movements were documented. Unexplained financial transfers were mapped. Slowly, methodically, a concealed network began revealing its architecture. One traffic stop changed everything. If you're following this investigation, comment, keep going, and hit like. Over 8 weeks, investigators mapped the operation structure. What appeared to be an ordinary extended family was actually a tightly organized criminal enterprise centered around Abdul Rahman Nur Ali. His younger brother Yusuf handled logistics, coordinating late night exchanges behind grocery stores and warehouse facilities. A cousin, Hodan Warsami, maintained detailed financial records in ledgers written partially in English, partially in Somali. Other relatives coordinated short route drivers, making discreet deliveries across Richfield, Bloomington, and South Minneapolis. Nothing appeared suspicious. Everything looked routine. Transactions occurred in familiar locations: community market parking lots, repair shops, after closing cafe back entrances where questions weren't asked. Neighbors saw family gatherings, weekend barbecues, children playing in yards. Surveillance logs revealed something entirely different. Dozens of late-night vehicle exchanges and continuous cash flow that never passed through legitimate banking channels. This wasn't coincidence. This was infrastructure. At 4:56 a.m., Minneapolis remained wrapped in winter darkness. Streets were silent. Most of the neighborhood slept unaware their quiet block was about to become the center of a federal operation. 12 unmarked vehicles established the perimeter. 43 agents from FBI, DEA, and Homeland Security moved into position, each assigned to a specific entry point, each step rehearsed for months. Then the silence shattered. Commands cut through the frozen air, sharp and synchronized. Neighbors later described it as the sound that told us something had been wrong all along. Inside panic erupted. 2 men attempted to barricade themselves in a back room. Another tried escaping through a side entrance, slipping on ice as tactical lights flooded the property. This wasn't chaos. This was precision. From the hallway, officers discovered 9 identical black duffel bags stacked against the wall. On a nearby table sat a high-speed cash counter still displaying its last total, $2400 incomplete cycle. Loose bills covered the floor. In a drawer, a concealed 9mm handgun. But the basement changed everything. Under a single hanging light sat a 12-foot table covered in ledgers, notebooks, transfer receipts, hard drives, and shipment logs spanning 26 months. Names, routes, totals. Beside them, 5 black bundles identical to those from the traffic stop. Field analysis estimated their potential output, over 900,000 lethal doses, enough to eliminate an entire city. Everyone in that room went silent, because in that moment, they finally understood what had been moving through their city. Not rumor, not speculation. A structured network operating quietly inside a neighborhood that trusted it completely. When the chaos settled, agents turned their attention to something far more revealing than weapons or drugs. The basement table held answers that physical evidence alone couldn't provide. The ledgers were arranged in neat stacks, some new, others yellowed with age, all written by the same person, Hodan Warsam. The oldest ledger started simply: small payments, local transfers, community donations. But as years passed, the numbers grew exponentially. $1,000 entries became $10,000. Personal expenses mixed with business transfers. Cash deposits appeared without legitimate sources. Then, around year 5, everything changed. The numbers grew bolder, the transfers more frequent, the amounts impossibly high for a family with no visible business generating such income. One entry caught investigators' attention: $118,400, Minneapolis, Columbus, no explanation.